All right, let's dive in. Today, we're looking at someone with a story that's, pretty unique. Near Rosenfeld, a restaurateur, but not just any restaurateur.
Right, there's a twist.
Yeah, he's based in Frankfurt, and his journey is a mix of food, ethics, and some unexpected turns.
And food is definitely the key word here. Imagine going from, meat-heavy menus to becoming a full-on vegan advocate. It's a pretty big jump.
Oh, absolutely. And the catalyst for all this was actually a single lecture by Gary Yourofsky.
Vegan activist.
That's the one. Seems like this lecture completely changed Rosenfeld's outlook. I mean, he was already running successful traditional restaurants, but Yourofsky's words kind of opened his eyes to a whole different perspective on food, the ethics of it, the environmental impact.
Makes you think, right?
Yeah.
What's that one piece of information out there that could totally shift our own views?
Right. It's a bit mind-blowing. And get this, he didn't just gradually ease into veganism. Nope. He went all in, just like that, overnight.
Wow, that's commitment.
I know, right? Even his wife was skeptical at first. But eventually the whole family, they all embraced veganism.
That's really something. It shows how deeply this resonated with him to bring his whole family on board.
So now comes the really interesting part. Instead of starting a brand new vegan restaurant, Rosenfeld decided to convert his existing ones. In Frankfurt, no less. Talk about bold.
He really adapted to change in a remarkable way. He knew that most people back then weren't exactly looking for vegan food, so he came up with this strategy. Introduce it to them without them even realizing it.
Can you imagine? You're sitting there enjoying a delicious meal, totally clueless that it's completely vegan.
Subversive, almost. It's brilliant. Of course, actually pulling it off, replicating all those familiar flavors and textures with plant-based ingredients, that takes some serious culinary skill.
Oh, for sure. I read about his plant-based foie gras. People are raving about it. It really pushes the boundaries of vegan cuisine.
It's a testament to how creative and innovative vegan cooking can be. This isn't just about replacing meat. It's about exploring a whole new world of culinary possibilities.
And it goes beyond just the food for Rosenfeld. He's using his platform to make a difference in other ways. Like at his Dominion restaurant, he offers free meals to those in need. Compassion served right alongside those delicious dishes.
It's a really admirable approach to social responsibility. He's not just focused on profits. He's using his success to tackle issues like food insecurity and create a more equitable world.
And then there's the unfortunate reality of rising anti-Semitism, something he's had to deal with, especially after the events of October 7th, 2025. Hateful messages, boycott attempts, it's just awful.
It's a sad reminder that even when you're trying to do good, there's still prejudice and hate out there. It really speaks to his strength that he hasn't let these experiences stop him from pursuing his mission.
So we have a successful restaurateur who becomes this passionate vegan activist, using his platform to address social issues and combat prejudice, all while running a thriving business. His story is pretty remarkable, wouldn't you say?
It really is. He didn't just change his life. He changed the lives of his family, his employees, his customers, even his community.
Yeah.
It just shows the ripple effect one person can have.
And it all started with just one lecture, one event that shifted his whole worldview. It makes you wonder what belief we hold that maybe, just maybe, we should reconsider.
That's a great question for all of us to think about. What assumptions do we have that we don't even question? What information is out there that could challenge our perspective?
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be about going vegan. It could be anything, right?
Yeah.
Our politics, our work, our relationships even. There's always room to grow and learn.
Absolutely. Rosenfeld's story shows that change can happen quickly. He didn't wait years to take action. He just went for it.
And speaking of action, he didn't just focus on his restaurants. He takes his activism beyond those walls. He's active in events like the Vegan Wednesday Market in Tel Aviv, supporting animal sanctuaries and advocacy groups.
It shows that he's not just living his values, but actively promoting them. He's inspiring others to join the movement, using his platform to spread the message of compassion and sustainability.
It's not just words with him. He really puts those words into action. You can find him at these events talking to people, showing them how enjoyable and fulfilling a vegan lifestyle can be.
He meets people where they are.
Right.
It's not about lecturing. He's letting them experience the good stuff, the food, firsthand. That's got to be a more effective way to connect with people.
Oh, totally. It's like he's saying, hey, try this amazing food, and then casually adding, oh, by the way, it's also vegan. It's a much better approach than, preaching about meat eating.
It's like building bridges instead of walls.
Right. Common ground, shared experiences. It opens up people to understanding and change in a way that arguing just doesn't. And let's be honest, Going against the grain, especially in the food industry, there's bound to be pushback. Did he get any flack for converting his restaurants? People must have thought he was nuts.
Yeah, some skepticism is understandable, I think. Change could be scary, especially when it seems drastic or goes against what we're used to. But, Rosenfeld shows that sometimes the biggest risks lead to the biggest rewards.
Besides that initial skepticism, think about the logistics. Sourcing all those plant-based ingredients, retraining his staff, making sure the new menu meets expectations. Not a walk in the park.
It really speaks to resilience and adaptability. He didn't let challenges stop him. He found creative ways around them. That's a good lesson for all of us, not just entrepreneurs, but anyone dealing with life's curveballs.
And on top of all that, he has to deal with the whole anti-Semitism issue, which sadly is still around. It's a harsh reality, people trying to make a positive impact becoming targets of hate and prejudice.
It reminds us that doing good doesn't always mean an easy path. But Rosenfeld's story also shows us the power of just keeping at it, not letting negativity derail you from your goals and values.
He's not just ignoring it either. He's using his platform to speak out against hate, trying to promote understanding, build bridges between communities. That's a powerful thing to do.
It shows that we don't have to wait for someone else to fix things. We can start with ourselves, right here, right now, with the choices we make every day.
Speaking of choices, let's talk business. Going vegan, it's not always seen as the most profitable move, right? But Rosenfeld seems to have found a way. How do you think he pulled it off?
What strikes me is that he didn't sacrifice his principles for profit. He managed to make his business work with his ethics and still found success. It kind of challenges that idea that you have to choose between doing good and making money.
It definitely does. He understood his market, he knew what people wanted, and he figured out how to give it to them in a way that was new and exciting, all while staying true to his vision.
And it shows that the demand for plant-based options is growing. It's gone from this niche thing to a mainstream movement, and Rosenfeld was ahead of the curve.
He wasn't just riding the wave, he was helping to create it. He's become a real leader in vegan cuisine, inspiring other chefs and restaurants to explore those plant-based options.
It's that ripple effect again. One person can inspire countless others, and that can lead to positive change that goes way beyond just their immediate circle.
Right, so we've talked about his journey to veganism, the changes in his business, his activism, the challenges. It's a really inspiring story, don't you think?
Absolutely. It just shows you what can happen when someone is truly dedicated to their beliefs and the impact they can have.
It really is. As we wrap up this deep dive, what was it about his story that resonated most with you? What's sticking with you?
I think it's his dedication to what he believes in. Even when people doubted him, he didn't waver. That kind of conviction, it's inspiring. It shows that it can really lead to some amazing things.
It makes you think, how often do we let doubt or fear hold us back? What could we all achieve if we had that level of passion and drive?
It's exciting to think about the possibilities. And it's not about knowing everything from the start. It's about taking that first step, and learning along the way and holding on to your values, even when things get tough.
That's a great point. Rosenfeld's story, it's not just about veganism. It's about how we approach any challenge or opportunity in life. It's a reminder that we all have the ability to make a difference, whether it's in our own lives or our communities or even on a larger scale.
Exactly. And if there's one thing we want you to take away from this deep dive, it's this. What deeply held belief do you have that maybe, just maybe, you should reconsider? If you were in Rosenfeld's position, how would you find that balance between success in business and your own ethical commitments?
That's a great question to leave everyone with. Food for thought, quite literally. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time.